Verde Valley 呢，位于美国西南部亚利桑那州的一个小镇，叫 Sedona。Sedona 呢，其实源于美洲印第安神话，它在印第安眼里是一个圣地，每年都有很多的朝圣者前去 Sedona 朝拜，所以这个小镇是自带一些空灵和神秘感的。坐落在这么一个美丽又神圣的地方，学校呢，它也不仅仅只是提供基本的 IB 课程体系，而是提供一个叫 IB 加 Dirt 的教学方式。这里面的 Dirt 就意味着 Get your hands dirty， 因为学校它不仅仅鼓励学生在学校读书，更是要走出教室，去参与到各种各样的动手项目之中，例如盖房子呀，例如种地呀，等等等等。其实很多坐落在大农村的学校都只能这样，因为除了干活，学生也没什么其他事情可以干了。On the website, I noticed that you said IB plus dirt.
Right, so
which
that's
I think
it.
highlights
we
everything
get pretty
you
dirty
mentioned.
there. Yeah, they work all day in the classroom, but then they play all afternoon and at night around the ideas of citizenship and leadership and fellowship. In addition to 300 acres of land where all of our students work on the land and provide service to the land, we also have over an acre and a half farm, which is an organic farm, where kids are learning how to grow, learning how to cook the foods that they're growing. When our kids are learning about systems in math or science, they're not just sitting in a classroom doing that, but they're going up to the Hopi Reservation Mesa, for First Mesa, where they're actually learning how to build and plant farms, where they're taking their math with them when they go there. You mentioned the IB plus dirt.
Yep.
Our kids are in the dirt, literally. The notion that they learn how to work on a farm is important. The fact that we have 30 horses is important to us. We have mountain biking programs where they go for miles and miles through stretches of beautiful land, but it's also about working together and being in community with somebody from all over the world, not just the United States. So we have students from 18 countries and 12 states in the United States. We're intentionally very small, only 120 students. 25 graduates a year or so.
Individual attention is
very important. And from those 25 students a year, they go to the best colleges and universities, either in the United States or elsewhere.
Do you look for a certain type of students, right? Are they more courageous? Are they more daring? So what are some of the characters?
Well, I think we have to start with academic excellence. They have to come from a belief in working really hard academically. It's not been a good place for students who have struggled academically. So first, that would be the first. But beyond that, it's a student who's ready to take a trip with their classmates after 2 weeks to another part of the country where there's going to be risk-taking involved, and there's going to be sleeping outside perhaps for the first time in a tent, learning how to put up a tent. We just started one of the country's most respected art colonies in the summer. So artists from all over the world come to VVS in the summer to spend their summer creating, discovering, and breathing. And that's had a huge impact on the students of the school as well, because they are also getting involved with some of the world's most well-known and well-regarded artists.
Such a small school, graduating class of 30 people, they must be very close. How are the alumni? Do they come back and visit?
Well, this is the most unique thing, and I'm so glad. I know that you went to boarding school, so you will understand this. When I had my first year at Verde Valley, I was stunned at the reunion weekend, because my other schools, the alumni came back to see each other, and there were a lot of parties, a lot of social activities. Verde Valley graduates come back and they work the whole weekend.
What do they do?
They paint. They fix up like we have a stonemason crew that comes back and does walls if there's been any damage. They work on the farm. They work with the horses.
Oh wow!
Then they have a party, perhaps at night.
Celebrate all the work done.
Right, but they call it work weekend. They don't call it a reunion weekend. So I travel all over the world to meet with alumni, and they all say the same thing. Bread firm, a beautiful bread company. Students who become involved in the land around them. Students who become involved in science because they remember that moment where Verde Valley said, "You can do this. You should try this. Make this work for you."
如此有个性的一个校友群体，代表着招生老师一定要找到符合校园文化的学生。那么，下面我们来听一听招生官尚老师介绍几个面试过程中的小故事。 I'm sure you've done many interviews.
Hundreds.
Yeah, hundreds of interviews. You must have some really interesting experiences. It could be good, it could be bad. Could you share some with us?
Sure. I think the interview that is most memorable, it was a Chinese boy who was looking to get in the 10th grade.
Okay.
He didn't have the best marks. And this was an in-person interview. He had come to the States. So we were sitting there and he was telling me why he wanted to come to school in the United States. And I said, well, tell me, normally what I will say is, tell me the subjects in school that really excite you. Or tell me the subjects that challenge you. And he said, I'm not very good in mathematics. And then he sort of looked down and he said, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And he pulled out his phone.
Right.
And he showed me his screensaver picture, and it was of him, but it didn't look like him. He said, that was me 1 year ago. Do you see my shape? I was much bigger.
Right.
My shape is much better now. You know why? I said, no. He goes, because I wasn't happy with that shape. And so I joined a gym. And so I improved my diet. And now today I feel better about myself. And that's why I want to go to university in the United States and boarding school in the United States, because that's my goal. And I know that I can be a goal-oriented person. And he kept holding the picture.
Wow.
And that went a long way with, it humanizes a person.
Right.
It says, I understand now. Here's a person who went through a difficult time.
Right.
And they set a goal, and they achieved it. And that tells me that they have resilience, grit, and that they're willing to be uncomfortable and to find ways to make themselves more comfortable, to succeed. So I think that's the one that really I remember most.
Right.
Chinese kids, they're under such pressure from their parents.
Yes.
So sometimes they come into an interview, and if it's their first day, their first time on the campus, I'll say, why are you applying to our school? Because you have wonderful teachers. And I'll say, but you don't know them.
So how do you know?
How do you know they're wonderful?
Right.
So you want to stay away from just memorizing things
Yeah.
and telling me how great the school is.
Yes.
That's not what I know that.
That's
why
I'm
I
here.
work there. But tell me something more. Don't get stuck with memorizing and trying to compliment me.
Right.
打开你微信去搜索朋友，哎呀妈呀，哎呀妈呀，点一下，然后就搜索留学生知道，哎呀妈呀，点了关注，最后别忘了点一下置顶，每天都能和你再相见。